Today, Xiaomi took the wraps of their new flagship phones, the Mi 10 and the Mi 10 Pro. Well, that in itself is quite exciting news. It is all the more exciting given that here in India, we've been promised more premium Xiaomi phones this year. And it doesn't get more premium than these flagship 5G smartphones from Xiaomi, right? So I was pretty excited for these, and if you are too, then this is all you need to know about the Mi 10 and the Mi 10 Pro. What these phones are all about and what Xiaomi is offering here. Hey guys, Ash here from C4E Tech, and if you do end up finding this video informative, subscribe and please consider turning on notifications by hitting that bell icon. Let's now get this video started. Okay, let's kick things off with the Mi 10. Design-wise, Xiaomi seems to have retained a similar design language to the Mi Note 10. The quad camera setup, the gradient pattern to the back, the curved sides, at least that's how it appears from the renders, from whatever we've seen. To the front, they've gone with a 6.67 inch, that seems to be their favorite size of choice now, a Full HD Plus AMOLED panel that's curved to the sides. Add in the punch hole for the 20 megapixel selfie shooter, and the Mi 10 as well as the Mi 10 Pro might very well be mistaken for last year's flagship Galaxy S10. From the renders and the photos that we've seen thus far, it also seems like Xiaomi have really cut down on the bezels. Even the bottom chin looks like it's barely present. So, thin bezels, a large AMOLED panel, support for HDR10 Plus, and stereo speakers, one on the top of the phone and another on the bottom. So the media experience, now that is something Xiaomi seems to have paid extra attention to here. Now, Xiaomi claims that although the display on the Mi 10 and the Mi 10 Pro have the same hardware, they've calibrated the one on the the Mi 10 Pro to have better, more accurate colors. I don't really get this part. If they have the same hardware, I wonder why would they make one better than the other? That is something we're gonna have to figure out once we get our hands on these phones, which we will. As always, I'm gonna be importing them, and then maybe I'd give at least one of these away. Which one should I give away? Leave a comment down below. Okay, cool. Displays, they look nice, right? So what about the refresh rates? For gamers out there, Xiaomi has not disappointed. These phones, they come with 90Hz refresh and 120Hz touch sampling. Basically, what that means is that the screen can show a new image 90 times a second, and it looks for a new input 180 times a second. So it should be a super smooth gaming experience with near instantaneous touch response. Even Apple with their current gen iPhones offers a 120Hz touch sampling rate. Now, to keep all these running smoothly, both phones have the top-of-the-line latest Snapdragon 865 chip, and with that we get 8 or 12 gigs of RAM paired with 128 or 256 gigs of really fast UFS 3.0 storage. The Mi 10 Pro goes a step higher by offering 512 gigs of storage also. The 12 gigs of RAM, it is a bit of overkill. Sure, but then I guess this is Xiaomi wanting to have bragging rights by being the first brand to launch a phone with 12 gigs of the new DDR5 RAM from Samsung. Now, the new Snapdragon processor does also bring with it a host of connectivity improvements, all thanks to that X55 modem inside. First, we have dual 5G support with theoretical top speeds of up to 3 Gbps. Next up, we also have the upgraded Wi-Fi 6 capabilities. Now, what is Wi-Fi 6? That's an entire video by itself. But simply put, it should mean faster Wi-Fi, and ones who are going to notice it most are gamers, thanks to lower latency timings. Another feature that might benefit gamers is the robust liquid cooling solution that Xiaomi's adopted. So this should technically keep thermals under control. Okay, so till now, barring having a higher storage option, the Mi 10 Pro hasn't really differed much from the regular Mi 10. So what's so pro about the Mi 10 Pro? Well, charging speeds and cameras. That is where the differences lie. Now, weirdly enough, the Mi 10, the regular Mi 10 has a slightly higher capacity battery, 4780 mAh compared to 4500. But the charging speeds, it's much faster with the Mi 10 Pro. It's 30 watt fast charging on the Mi 10, which is not bad at all. It's still quite fast. But the Mi 10 Pro, here Xiaomi's gone for a whopping 50 watts of fast charging. So this puts it on par with, say, Samsung's 45 watts or Oppo's SuperVOOC, or rather Realme's 50 watt SuperVOOC. So maybe Once we get our hands on these phones, we do another charging test. Is that something you guys would like to see? Once more, leave a comment down below. Now, another thing that is really insane is these phones have support for wireless charging, and not just any wireless charging, but 30-watt wireless charging. 30 freaking watts. I mean, it is through a proprietary charging pad, yes, but the Mi 10 here charges as fast wirelessly as it does wired. So, you know how we all love OnePlus's Warp Charge, that's 30 watts, and this does 30-watt wireless charging. And it also, on top of all of that, has 10-watt reverse wireless charging. So here with charging, Xiaomi's just gone nuts. We still have phones in the budget segment that's coming out with, 10-watt charging, and here we have 10-watt reverse wireless charging. So guys, coming back to the differences between these two, it's the cameras. Now both phones have 4 cameras to the back. The primary is the same 108 megapixel sensor from Samsung. This is the Samsung Isocell Bright HMX sensor that we've seen before on the Mi Note 10. It's coupled with similar f1.69 lenses. I say similar and not same because there is a difference here. The Mi 10, it gets a 7p lens, while the Mi 10 Pro gets an 8p lens. It's basically the same difference that we saw between the Mi CC9 Pro or the Mi 10 and the special edition Mi CC9 Pro. Now, according to DxOMark, the combination of this hardware and the newer processing from the Snapdragon 865, that's resulted in better images, especially under low light. And there's also been greater dynamic range. And as a result, the combined camera score of the Mi 10 Pro is 124, making it the highest rated camera phone in the market. And it's not just about that 108 megapixel sensor either. We have 3 other sensors, and for the Mi 10, it's a fairly regular affair. A 13 megapixel ultra wide with an f2.4 lens, and then there are a couple of run-of-the-mill 2 megapixel sensors, one for macro, another for depth reduction. With the Mi 10 Pro though, it's got a very similar setup to the Mi Note 10. The only thing missing here is a dedicated macro. We have a 20 megapixel ultra wide, a 12 megapixel telephoto for 2x zoom, which is probably what they're going to be using for those portrait shots. And then there is finally a 8 megapixel super telephoto that's for 5x optical zoom that comes with OIS. The combination of these cameras should let us go up to 10x with hybrid zoom and 50x for digital zoom. Both phones are also capable of capturing 8K video thanks to that 865 chip. So that is all we know about these two phones. They seem very interesting. The total hardware package here, it's quite exciting, right? The software, we all know what it's gonna be, MIUI 11 built on top of Android 10. So we should see the regular stuff, universal dark mode, that should take advantage of these AMOLED panels and all that. We've seen them all before. So pricing, the Mi 10 starts at 3999 yuan, so that's around 40,000 rupees or $570 US. The Mi 10 Pro, you know, the one with those telephoto cameras, the crazy zoom, that faster 50-watt charging, well, that starts at 4999 yuan or about 51,000 Indian rupees. Again, that's somewhere around $715 US if you were to do the math. Now, the most, by far, these are the most expensive Mi flagships that Xiaomi's made. It's 1,000 yuan or almost 10,000 rupees pricier than the previous generation Mi flagships. So if Xiaomi does come to India with a Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro, would you be willing to shell out 40 or even 50,000 rupees to buy these flagship phones? I mean, that's most definitely OnePlus and even with the Lite series of phones, Samsung territory. And that's probably due to the fact that these phones come with 5G, and Xiaomi's thrown in a lot of new features here like that super fast charging, super fast wireless charging and so on. Would you mind paying a premium for these, especially premium for 5G in a market like India where 5G is not going to be available for quite a while? Do you think that even makes sense? Leave a comment down below, and with that, we get to the end of this video and it is time I bid you adieu. Thumbs up, thumbs down based on what you felt about this video. Share it with friends and family if you can. Subscribe, turn on notifications by hitting that bell icon if you haven't yet. And thanks a lot for watching. Till next time, my name's Ash. You've been watching C4E Tech and I'm signing off for now. You guys have a great day. Bye-bye.